Hello everyone. I welcome you to this session. My name is Gurpreet Singh. I'm a certified life coach. I'm an NLP practitioner and I'm a mindfulness expert. So, this session is going to be a give and take session between all of us. We learn from each other. So, I would again request once again, Mr. Bhavendra, Yash Kumar, and then Varsha, Devojit, Piali to kindly show their videos. Yeah. Okay, and very quickly, all of you, kindly just in the chat box mention your city or your location and what is your profession so that I can welcome all of you. Okay, Bhavendra is from Nepal and he's a psychosocial counselor. Very welcome, Bhavendra. Yash Kumar is from Mahua, Gujarat, and a second year student of psychology. Welcome, Yash Kumar. Who's next? Kimi, your introduction, please. Okay, I missed your section. Piali, please be online. Make your videos available and a short introduction. Varsha and Devojit also a very short introduction before we begin. Kimi is working as an HR in a dental company. Very welcome, Kimi. Piali, if you can hear us, Varsha, if you can hear us, Devojit, if you can hear us, a very short introduction, and then we begin the session. Okay, so we are going to begin the session. I hope is there the PPT available with all of you? Can you see the PPT being displayed? Or even if it is not, then I'll share it with you later on. Is the PPT being displayed? Yes. Okay. So very quickly, anyone from all of you, just tell me what do you understand by meditation? What is your definition of meditation? What do you understand by the word meditation? Very quickly. And please be very active in the chat section. What is the definition of meditation? Bhavendra, Yashkumar, Kimi, Piali, Varsha, Devojit, Neelam. Meditation means to control our mind and thoughts. Okay, Kimi, very nice. Neelam, to achieve mental peace. Yes. One of the goals of meditation is to achieve mental peace. Varsha says to make us self aware. Very nice input by Varsha. Okay. Yashkumar, what is your input? And others, please join in. If you really want this session to be useful for you, then you have to be very active. That makes me more creative. What is your definition of meditation? Okay, usually we always hear this terminology that we should meditate for our peace of mind. Meditation is being in a state of where you, okay, your I do not interfere. Okay, he's talking right now about the ego part. Okay, Yash Kumar, if you could make your video available, also would be very nice. Okay, so usually we hear about this terminology that meditation should be done in order for stress reduction or whatever stress is there in your life. Meditation can help you reduce your stress. What is the definition of stress, all of you? In your own words, what is the definition of stress? What is stress? What is the definition of stress? Kimi, Piali, Bhavendra, Yash Kumar, Varsha, and Neelam. Maybe burden of something. Very nice. Stress is physical or emotional tension. Piali, very nice. Okay, so anything, any kind of situation which happens in your life, it can be something related to you have to do something physically. Okay, situation which is difficult to cope up mechanism fails. Very nice, Varsha. So any such non-specific response to any situation. Okay, so any kind of situation which happens in your life where you have to perform in some way. It could be performing emotionally or giving your insights, or it could be performing physically, and where you find yourself incapable of doing, where your resources are less than the actual target. So that is why what happens, there is a phenomenon which happens inside your brain which is called stress. Okay, now what happens is that your body has two options, or your mind has two options. In this case is it's called fight or flight. What is fight or flight? What is fighting and what is flighting? What is fight or flight response? When we face any kind of danger, okay, fight is to deal with the situation. Very right, very true, Yash Kumar. And flight is to avoid. Okay, yes. So whenever your resources are less to cope up with the situation, you will always choose to flight, that is to run away from the situation. What happens is that how can someone run away mentally? Okay, a very common example of whenever you just get a shock, electric shock from somewhere, and your brain is unable to cope up with that, you faint on that spot. Okay, why? You need to protect your brain from that effect. So the fight or flight response triggers on its own. Either we face it or run away from that to avoid the danger. Very nice. Okay. So how can stress affect you? Okay, there is a hormone which is related to stress. What hormone increases when stress increases? What is the name of that hormone? What is the name of the hormone which increases when stress increases? Starts from C. Okay. Adrenaline. Okay, adrenaline is the built up of that energy. Okay, A, B, C. After adrenaline, C. What hormone is accumulated at times of stress? It begins with adrenaline and then there is a build-up of it, but it leads to another hormone which begins from C. Okay, so the hormone is called as, just one second. Okay, there is one reply. I'm unable to see the chat properly. The hormone is called as cortisol. Okay, and what happens when cortisol increases? It has an very severe impact on different elements of your, yes, cortisol, different elements of your body and mind. Okay, and even emotions. What happens is that with respect to body, if you can see in the PPT, there can be migraine, sleep disorders, chronic illnesses. There can be skin issues. Sometimes people go to dermatologists because of skin issues, and then they go for muscle weaknesses. They want to take multivitamins, but they do not know it could be because of stress. Then there is the emotional aspect. There can be loss of confidence, irritability. There could be it could be leading to depression, loneliness, anger. Okay, then with respect to the behavior, if you can follow the PPT, it leads to loss of appetite. Okay, drug alcohol abuse. Okay, whenever person is in stress and he wants to cope up, he could use a faulty cope up mechanism. That could be drugs or alcohol. Do you agree? Type yes. Then there can be insomnia, alienation, self harm. And with respect to mind, there can be a lot of worrying, nightmares, indecision, negativity, panic, distress. So stress is the really thing which we need to cope up, and we always hear this part that meditation is going to help you release your stress or relieve your stress, or I avoid you from getting stressful. Okay, what are some benefits of meditation which you know from your own, not from the PPT? What are some benefits of meditation which you know? मेंटल कामनेस, वर्षा, वेरी नाइस वर्षा. मेंटल कामनेस, जिसको हिंदी में हम बोलते हैं मन की शांति. इंक्रीज इन स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ माइंड, वेरी नाइस. Instability goes away and stability comes. Calm and cool, very nice. Okay, some of the benefits: reduce stress, very nice. So direct effect. Okay, some of the effects: memory power increase, very nice. This is a cognitive effect of meditating, very nice. Okay, some of the good effects of meditation can be improving focus and memory, gives a sense of purpose. Improved outlook on life. Why improved outlook of life? Because some people, they compare themselves with others a lot, and when they meditate, they are in synchronized with their own self. They really know what they are from inside, and then their confidence increases. Then there is anxiety relief, improved sleep. Then it helps in pain management, okay, because it helps in release, very nice. Enhance attention. It also helps in release of certain hormones which can overpower the pain, okay. Then it helps in increasing the immune system, because everyone right now is saying if you want to fight coronavirus, you have to have a very good immune system. Increases happiness, very nice, Neelam, thank you so much. Then it helps in reducing your depression, enhances your relationship, because as you meditate you get inner, more inner, and then you have less expectations from your spouse, less expectations from other people. It increases your happiness, as Neelam has pointed out. Any specific benefits of meditation which I have not mentioned, which I can learn from you and which you have experienced from meditating every day? Balance emotion, very nice. It can avoid and help you to avoid extreme emotions like extreme anger, feeling extremely lonely, or feeling extremely affectionate. Yes. What are some other benefits of meditation? One more benefit of meditation from one of you, which you have experienced if you have tried meditating sometime. Piali is not answering, is not very active. I want Kimi to be active. Okay. Become wise, very nice. Okay, it helps you improve your EQ, emotional quotient. Very nice. Okay, we go to the next slide. Okay, what happens? Okay, spirituality, very nice. Connected. We will also talk about spirituality, Kimi, in the upcoming slide shows. Okay. Now, what are the ABCs of relaxation response? Okay, as someone pointed out, adrenaline. Okay, whenever there is a stress element, then what happens is that your sympathetic nervous system, it gets activated, and then it builds on. As the stress increases, it builds the adrenaline, okay, and then there is the peak discomfort. Now if the person has two choices, if he is aware and he is unaware of his situation. If he is unaware, what he will do, he will choose a cope up mechanism which he has already used in the past. That could be what he has learned in his childhood. Maybe in the childhood, when he was beaten up, he used to run away. When he was scolded, he used to back answer. When he was kind of having conflict, he used to just hide out somewhere. So whatever responses he has learned in his childhood and maybe in his adulthood, in his workplace or his environment, he will use that kind of skill in order to overcome that peak discomfort, that is stress. Now second is awareness. One of the person who pointed out that meditation leads to awareness. Who was that person who told me that meditation leads to awareness, improved awareness? Meditation leads to awareness. Who pointed out that? Okay, Varsha. Very nice, Varsha. Okay. So, what is the meaning of awareness? Awareness means whatever you are doing, why you are doing, the level in which you are doing a certain task, or you are responding to other people, or responding to issues in your life, or responding to the threats in your life. That is an informed decision. Yeah, there is one kind of person who says that person spoke bad words about me, or that person did not respect me, or that person he did not apologize to me, and that is why I got angry. So your anger, it came out naturally without a proper planning. It was not a conscious decision to show that anger, and then later on these kind of people, they repent or they regret their actions, right? Yes or no? I'm unable to see the chat. Yes or no? You write yes, and then I proceed, and then I get motivated, and then I get energized. Then I get that adrenaline inside me. Okay. So you are helping me even grow my chemicals, right? Okay. Next, in the PPT, we come that there are certain neurochemicals in the brain, okay, which change during meditation. So it has been observed under supervision and under a lot of research and experimentation that whenever uh, a person meditates, okay, that time maybe melatonin, which helps in very good sleep, it increases, so a person can naturally fall asleep if he or she meditates every day. Second is serotonin, okay, which is called as the happiness hormone, that also has an increase. Third is dopamine also, okay, it also increases. Cortisol, the stress hormone, it is decreasing. One more hormone the person pointed out, that also decreases, okay, and endorphins also, it can remain unchanged or it could increase, okay. So a lot of neurochemicals also increase when we meditate. Now the next slide, agree type yes. Okay, this is a sample of a brain scan of a person before and after meditation. After meditation, what happens is that it was found out that he had increased gray matter inside the brain. He had decreased size of amygdala, and then he had improved functionality in networks. Okay, the next slide show very quickly. Now, what is gray matter? Psychology students, what is the gray matter in the brain? Why is increasing of the gray matter important? What is gray matter? Gray matter, anyone? Don't know. Okay. Okay, you can. Okay, neurons having a lining called myelin. Okay. Okay, so 95% of your brain oxygen is actually stored in the gray matter. Okay, people who have less matters are actually pathological liars. Okay, then people who are more prone to addictions are those people who have less gray matter. So it is very important to improve this gray matter. Okay, there is a slideshow which shows what is that exactly. Okay, next is again we are talking about neurochemicals. A lot of neurochemicals increases in your brain when you meditate on a regular basis. Okay, now it can help you fight anxiety, depression, and also help you come overcome addiction. There are a lot of rehabilitation centers where specifically there is a time allotted for meditation. Okay, now what are brain waves? Anyone has some knowledge about brain waves? What is beta waves, theta waves, gamma waves, alpha waves, delta waves? What are brain waves? Anyone, any knowledge about brain waves? Yash Kumar, Piyali, Varsha, Neelam, Dr. Abdul. What are brain waves? It's like the waves when you are conscious, sleeping in subconscious state, and when in coma. Very nice. Okay. Okay, so these waves which are generated in the brain, okay, they help in balancing your neurochemicals and even improving them. Okay, so when you meditate, you trigger the release of these waves. Okay, and specifically the alpha waves, the beta waves, and the delta waves. When you go into deep state of relaxation, very deep state of relaxation, sometimes it is also called as samadhi. These waves are triggered and they help in the overall healing of your body. Even they can help you correct the imbalance of chemicals. They help in deep meditation. Very nice from Neelam. Okay. Now there are four. You can also refer to the PPT. There are four kinds of neurochemicals which are also called as happiness chemicals. Okay, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphin. Okay, so serotonin is a mood stabilizer. Okay, dopamine is a reward chemical. Okay, everyone who wants to achieve something and then they get that dopamine release. Okay, after that achieving that particular task. Then the oxytocin. Okay, whenever you hug, whenever you cuddle, whenever you get intimate with your partner, oxytocin is released. And then is endorphin. Endorphin is the natural pain reliever of your body. So whenever you run a race, when you sweat it out, when you exercise very nicely, so your endorphins increase in your body. Now all these four neurochemicals, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, they are released in abundance. They are released in abundance when you meditate. So there are so many people who go to psychiatrists. Okay, sometimes it is very important to go to psychiatrists, but when people with depression who have low serotonin and they are given class SSRI medicines, selective serotonin receptive inhibitor. Okay, these are the type of medications which a depressed person is given. Okay, so a person, if he meditates regularly, okay, he can actually prevent depression because these neurochemicals, the imbalance of these neurochemicals is naturally corrected. Agreed? Yes, no, any questions? Be active in the chat. Agreed. Any question from anyone? I will be also sharing this PPT so that you can also go through. Any question till now about meditation? Okay, so till now we have discussed the scientific part of meditation, scientific part. Okay, so because nowadays people do not want to meditate because they think that it is a useless activity, it won't have any effects, and that is why they require scientific backup for this. They always want some scientific backing that why should I meditate? Tell me reasons to meditate scientifically. Okay, but in India, this tradition has been going on since a lot of ages. India is called you could call the country of sages. Okay, the maximum saints have been in India. Okay, the maximum people who have been enlightened, okay, self-realized, self-actualized have been through India, and India is spreading its spiritual wisdom all around the globe. Okay, but still, I would say maximum practitioners right now of meditation are the people who are staying in other countries. Do you agree? People in other countries other than India are actually taking more of meditations, and Indians are actually avoiding meditation. Yes. Why are Indians not meditating? Why foreigners are going to uh, dharamshala in areas like this and then taking meditation retreats and booking retreats and learning meditation? Why? And why are not Indians meditating? Same to Ayurveda. Yeah, they are doing it to find peace of mind. Do you think Indians already have peace of mind? Why do Indians don't want peace of mind, or they already have? Okay, Indians have lack of knowledge and awareness. Okay, it is like Indians. Okay, do not take it seriously. Very nice. Okay, now what happens is that the foreigners have already experienced the dream life, which you call the dream life. Okay, what is that dream life? Alcohol, drugs, then multiple sexual partners, then smoking weed, and then just ruining their lives in such lives, like maybe in glamorous fields. Now they have already spent their lives in experiencing all these things, and they have found nothing. They found out nothing after doing all these things. They have smoked drugs all their life. They have been with multiple female and male partners, but they have not got that inner happiness from all these things. And now, in the quest to search for happiness, they want to search for something which is more stable. And then they come and they are attracted to India to find the divine knowledge, divine spiritual wisdom, and then they start doing all these things, and they want to feel happy. Now, what happens with Indians is that Indians get attracted by this kind of lifestyle. You see, every day, every week, there is a new pub which is opening due to social networking in India. Okay, okay. So many people are there. Are so many pubs opening up. Okay, the people are wearing more glamorous clothes. Okay, the Bollywood movies are becoming more and more movies where there is more skin show. Okay, so what is happening is that Indians want to live this life. They envy the foreigners. They envy that foreigners live such a very cool life, and I also want to experience this life. But Indians are not aware of the side effects of such kind of life, because of which foreigners are taking up meditation. And now Indians want to try this kind of life, and because of this, they find that meditation is highly boring. They do not want to even try meditation. They feel like meditation is for old people, and whenever they grow old, they will try and they will start meditating. It's a very boring thing. Do you agree with this thing, or any other views, or any other inputs for me? Why Indians don't meditate? It is a homegrown thing. Meditation started from India, and then Indians don't follow meditation. Why? I think our definition of happiness, very nice, Yash Kumar. Okay, Indians are regarding pleasure as happiness, momentarily happiness or pleasure. Okay, very momentarily, for a very short time, whatever you get, happiness or pleasure. Okay, people feel like it is wasting of time. Okay, I would request Kimi, Varsha, Dr. Abdul to on your videos, even Neelam. Okay. Okay. Next in the slideshow, now we talk about some spiritual benefits of meditation. Okay. From the scientific benefits of meditation, the brain benefits of meditation, we now come to the spiritual benefits of meditation. What are some spiritual benefits of meditation? How can meditation help you grow spiritually? How can meditation help you grow spiritually? And what is spirituality? Type. To see everyone equally, okay, is spirituality. Okay, very nice insight. We can activate our chakras. Kimi, very nice. Kimi, your own knowledge or knowledge from this PPT? Earlier I mentioned helps in the process called ego death. Okay, I को मेल्ट करने में हेल्प करता है. The I connection to soul to the God. Very nice. Who was that? I missed the name. Okay. Okay, now coming to the Neelam, very nice. Coming to the next slide, okay, this is the chart of our inner body, which energy body. As we say, the one sitting in front of you, this body is actually you could say this is like your clothes, okay, and you are actually inside these clothes. Okay, it's okay, Neelam. Okay, these are your clothes. Okay, not these. My skin and my body and my bones and my nervous system is everything according to spirituality. That are my clothes, and your soul, which never dies. It comes through a lot of reincarnation. Now, some people believe in reincarnation, some do not believe. Who all of you believe in reincarnation? Do you believe that you had a past life, or you have come from a lot of births? Is this your reincarnation, or this is your first life? Okay, Kimi agrees. Yash Kumar also believes this is reincarnation. Okay, Varsha also believes. Could you please provide? Yes, yes, Neelam, no problem. Is this your reincarnation? Okay, agreed. Okay. Now, what happens is that okay, once again, someone pointed out about God. What is your what is your goal in life? Okay, what is the ultimate or utmost goal of this life? So just think about life. You are born, and then you do a certain work, you earn money, you eat food, okay, and then your time is over, and then you go away, okay. Isn't it very funny, and isn't it very very like temporary? It's like a dream. So what is the, yes, self actualization, what is the goal of your life? And also define what is self actualization. What is the goal of your life? What is the goal of your life spiritually? What is this? What are you meant to do? What are you meant to do? Are you only meant to practice your career and earn money and make houses and create bank balance? Is this your goal in life? What is the goal in life? To realize your true self and potentialities. Okay, very nice, Varsha. Okay, so according to spirituality, our energy body never dies and it's always reincarnated. Okay, we could get our births based on our karmas. Who believes in karmas? What is karma? Goal of the life is to take ourself into singularity. Yes, very nice, Yash Kumar. So, Yash Kumar, do you want to say that we are a drop from the ocean and that drop again goes into the ocean and we become the ocean? Or we are the sunlight from the sun and then we merge into the sun? Something like this, Yash Kumar? Yes, very nice, Yash Kumar. Who believes in karma and who believes that our life, current life, is controlled by our past karma or current karma, or we get the rewards or negative or positive rewards of our karma? Who believes in karma? Neelam believes. Totally agreed. Okay. Do we get rewards of our karma? Is physical health and the lack of money or mental or physical distress, is this because of karma? Is it possible? Actions never go. Yes, yes. How can we burn our karma? One thing is to do good karma and avoid doing bad karma, or hurting other people, or misguiding other people, or cheating other people, or manipulating other people. How can we do something which will burn our past karma? Because our past karmas can be thousands and thousand years. It can be very 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 big to actually balance with good karma. Okay, some people say do good karma, it will balance with your bad karma. But our bad karma could be so vast that it is very impossible to balance it. Any way that we can burn our karma, completely burn into ashes, that it never existed. Give me some insights, I want to learn. Vipassana meditation helps in that. Okay, Varsha, nice input. Meditation helps in burning of your karma. Yes. What else? Any input apart from Varsha? Be neutralized. Okay, Yash Kumar, slightly more insight. Even I read somewhere that our karma decide our home, color, and even height of the person. Okay, yes, intuitive, very intuitive. How can we burn our karma? Because if we start doing good karma from morning till evening till night, okay, there can be some chances where we cannot control our thoughts. Sometimes we don't do bad, but we think bad about someone. How can you even control your thoughts and not think bad about someone, or envy someone, or jealousy? Being neutral helps in freeing. Okay. Okay, so being neutral can help you create a good future. How can you not uh, eat the fruits of your previous seeds? So one is you will not plant seeds, or you will be neutral in planting seeds, or you will plant seeds which will grow apple or strawberries. But what about seeds which have already planted cactus? How can you negate those seeds? Through daily self evaluation, we can reduce our bad karma. Okay. Okay, now someone also pointed out at chakras. Who was the person about chakras? Okay, how many chakras are there? Just name the chakras. You can even see in the PPT and name those. Yes, Kimi. You can see the PPT if you want to refer, and you can name the chakras. How many chakras and what are those chakras? That is okay, Kimi. Anyone who can see the PPT. Okay. The first chakra, which is called as Muladhara chakra or root chakra. Okay, root chakra first. Second is Swadhisthana chakra. Third is okay Nabhi chakra. Then fourth is Anhata chakra. Fifth is Visuddhi chakra. Sixth is Agnya chakra. Okay, Nabhi. Very nice, Neelam. And seventh is Sahasrara chakra. Okay, yeah, very nice. Okay, now there is something called some people. There are a lot of posts going viral on the social media. Third eye, yes, very nice. There are a lot of posts going viral in the social media where they claim that join our meditation and we will open your chakras. Join our meditation, we will activate your kundalini. Okay, yes, yes. I will talk about these chakras also. Okay. What is Kundalini? I have heard from a lot of people. I see so many posts every day. They talk about just subscribe to our meditation program or just subscribe to our program and we'll activate your chakras and we will just activate your Kundalini, the which is the hidden energy, hidden potential. It can do miracles. You will become clairvoyant and you will get so many kind of you could say special powers and all those things. What is the Kundalini? We will go into the depth of these in some workshop related to spirituality. But what do you know about Kundalini? Okay, to clear the blockage. Okay, Neelam, very nice insight. Okay, now can you see in that? Just see in the figure if you could see. Okay, the Kundalini is between the Muladhara chakra and the Swadhisthana chakra. It is a source of energy which lies under the spinal cord. Okay, very nice, Yash Kumar. But Yash Kumar, I want to ask why is Kundalini between the Muladhara and Swadhisthana chakra? Why is it not beneath the Muladhara chakra? Because if the work of Kundalini is to open up the chakras, then it should also open the Muladhara chakra. Someone give me insight. No idea. Okay. Okay. So, what is the significance of the root chakra? Give me one input, all of you. What is the significance of the root chakra? What is it connected to? The root chakra, the Muladhara chakra. Mool Adhara. Okay. In Hindi, if I want to divide the word Mool means basic. Adhar means I want to okay, not much knowledge about that is okay. Okay, I am just giving you two words. Okay, mool means basic. Adhara means your support system, base of all. Okay, mool adhara, basic support system. Okay, now what are your basic needs? Whenever we talk about basic needs, that is like food, clothing, shelter, then money to survive, then okay, then self respect. Okay, then there is your sexual needs. Okay, all these needs which are your basic needs. Okay, physiological needs. Very good, Neelam. Okay, very nice. Okay, according to Maslow's theory and pyramid, okay, it is the physiological needs. So all these physiological needs. Please give ideas about position of these chakras in your body. Okay, I will share that chart with all of you also, because now we also have to take care of the time and some techniques about meditation. Okay, now what happens is that your basic needs. Okay, this is I will say that this is some kind of a challenge for you. This is a challenge which has been created by your creator. I will not call it God or Almighty, or you can call it universe or energy, whatever. This is a challenge created by the Almighty for all of you, that if you want to activate your Kundalini, first get rid over your basic needs. Basic needs. Okay. If you want to actually start activating your Kundalini or that energy, you have to get up over those basic needs, because the entire world, entire universe is actually only in that basic needs mode. Okay, everyone from morning till night wants to find people, attractive people to date. Everyone wants to find avenues of earning money. Everyone wants to find ways to look attractive. Everyone wants recognition among people. Everyone wants to have a very big group circle. Everyone wants something uh, which is pleasurable. Okay, so if you really want to grow in your spiritual part, okay, so your creator tells you, it is like an exam for you. If you really want to grow in the spiritual part, if you are following me, also type yes, 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 or why. If you really want to grow, we can only think about other needs when our basic needs are fulfilled. Okay, very nice. Okay, so see, okay, one more thing, Neelam, our basic needs can actually never be fulfilled, because every day you are going to feel hungry. Okay, every day, but because basic needs means, if you are sticking to the basic, okay, if there are so many people, you get intimate with a guy or a girl today, you will want to have it again tomorrow, day after tomorrow, again, months, years, and you will again be doing the same thing. You want to eat tasty food today, eat pizza, and say, I will be eating pizza the last time. No, never it will happen. Okay, you want to have praises from people, you want people to appreciate you, you will want that appreciation again and again. Okay, so it is like a challenge created by our Almighty or the Creator, that if you really want to get enter spirituality, or want to reach your daswa dwar, what we call the seventh chakra, open the chakra, or the daswa dwar, you have to show some kind of discipline. This is a quest for discipline. That if you show discipline in controlling your urges of your basic urges of your life, only then you stand. It's like only then you get that entry point to activate your kundalini, and then you go to other chakras. Agree? Yes? No? Any questions, doubts? Ask me. Yes? No? Question? Anything? क्योंकि बाउंसर नहीं जाना चाहिए, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है बाउंसर बाउंसर तो नहीं जा रहा. Agreed. Okay, so again, to actually start your spiritual journey, if you want to show that commitment of starting the spiritual journey, okay, through the process of opening up of your chakras and activating the kundalini energy, basic chakra, root chakra से ऊपर उठना पड़ेगा. Okay, sacrifice, it has to start with sacrifice, it has to start with being having that self control. If you start having all these things, practicing it, and then you get a chance of awakening your kundalini. Yes, no questions? Okay, so I will now again coming to meditation and the techniques very quickly. Okay, okay. Now meditation for me is any activity which will help you to relax. Number one thing, any activity which will help you to relax physically and mentally. Any activity which will help you to relax physically and mentally. Okay, which will also help you to enter into a very deep state of concentration. Very deep state of concentration. Three things will be called as meditation. Now, if suppose our goal of your life is to meditate and activate the chakras and get mukti or self realization, self actualization, and then we are also working for our daily needs, how do we do it all the time? Okay, people will always say, I can only meditate 30 minutes in a day, I can only meditate 15 minutes in a day. But what about the next 23 hours? Because the next 23 hours also determine, they are also inside your karma. Some people, they become god fearing, or they become very conscious in 1 hour of the day, and remaining 23 hours how they spend, they know it better. Okay, so if you want to actually always be in a conscious state of mind, when we also talk about the word mindfulness, okay, mind, some people say mindfulness meditation, they say all these things. Okay, so mindfulness means you are always aware of what is going in your mind, you are always continuously aware of what are your thoughts, you are always aware of what are going to be your actions, and you plan your actions. Okay, tell me, how can you meditate 24 hours? Tell me any way to meditate 24 hours. Please comment Kimi, Neelam, Pyali, Yash Kumar, Varsha, and Dr. Abdul, if he is there. How can you meditate 24 hours? Being in present moment. Okay, very nice, Yash Kumar. How can you meditate 24 hours? How can you stay conscious? Okay, being aware. Okay, okay. Okay, now very basic examples of meditation. Naturally, meditation, I'll say, where suppose you are sitting at your home during the day and there is nothing to do, and you sit like this and you close your eyes and you start doing daydreaming. Okay, and you are so engrossed in daydreaming in that you do not know you are in the room, or there are some events going on and you are playing a certain role. That is also a kind of meditation because your concentration level is so high. Second is, some people they read books, and when they read books, people come and go out of their room. They say them certain things, and they do not even blink their eyes continuously. Yeah, very nice by worshipping. Okay, they read books continuously with that concentration that they feel so focused. This is also kind of meditation. I'm talking about day to day activities which can be meditation, a part of meditation. Next is, some people listen to music or play a certain instrument. Sometimes they are playing, yes, music. Sometimes they play a certain musical instrument that they get so engrossed. You must have seen videos of violin players where they get in so much of trance while playing that music. That is also meditation. And some people they do certain kind of activity. It can be playing certain kind of sports which involves focus. It can be hockey. It can be people who are playing chess. People who are playing chess have the same kind of chemical activity in their brain when they are doing meditation, listening motivational videos. Yes, if you are actually following what is being said and also listening it carefully. Okay, so there are certain day to day activities which you can practice which can help you increase your concentration level. First is, you can sit and have a thought process about something. Okay, yes, okay. Second is, having indulging in certain sports every day. It can be any sports, it could be indoor sport, outdoor sport, but any kind of sports. Okay, morning or evening walk. Neelam, if you want to have morning or evening walk, pay attention to your steps. Pay attention to the action of your steps when you are walking. Then that can become your meditation while walking. Okay, next is, reading is also a very good habit which can be natural meditation. Okay, if you really enjoy what you read. And next is, playing a musical instrument or listening to music, exercising also. Okay, now coming to next, uh, types of meditation. I will discuss the different types of meditation. Tell me any one type of meditation which you know. Playing with children. Okay, it comes with distractions, but if it is not coming with distractions, sometimes there is a very small child and you are holding that child and very very playfully looking into his or her eyes and then cuddling the child. Okay, so if you are so engrossed in such an activity, it can result in the same meditative state, same kind of neurochemical, same kind of benefits of meditation also. Okay, tell me any one kind of meditation which all of you know. Okay, Kimi, Piali, Neelam, Yash Kumar, Varsha, and Dr. Abdul. Okay, mindfulness, Vipassana, transcendental. Okay, doing Kapal Bhati. Okay, that can also amount to meditation. Okay, Dr. Abdul, agar aap hai, if you are there, I would want you to also participate and also keep your video on if you are there. Okay, I missed out the last text. I missed out the last text. Chat. Sahaj Yog. Okay. Okay. So some basic kinds of meditation I will share with you. First is, whatever we have heard from a lot of people is called breathing meditation, and then they say focus on your breath. Or every time some person says that sit at a particular place, close your eyes, and then inhale and exhale. And again you have to do inhalation and exhalation and focusing on the breath going inside you and then getting outside you. This is one kind of meditation. Anyone has tried this kind of meditation? Inhalation and exhalation by sitting quietly. Okay, sitting quietly. If you are able to stop the chatter of your mind, I will not say stop the chatter of your mind, but if you are able to avoid paying attention to the chatter, because the chatter will always, yes, focusing on the breath, because the chatter is always going on. Even when you are here talking to me, I am talking to you, there could be something. Okay, tomorrow I have another workshop, or maybe tomorrow I have this session, or tomorrow I have to update my website. So even there are things going on in my mind when I'm talking to you. So whenever you focus on your breath, make sure even if you have thoughts in your mind, you are not giving those thoughts power. Okay, suppose there is a thought coming in your mind about a particular girl, particular boy, particular lottery, particular incident in the past, particular something. You are not giving those. You are not riding on that, on those thoughts. You are not giving them importance. Okay, say, give me some examples or inputs or questions. Some questions, example, inputs. Okay, thoughtless. Okay, thoughtless. Thoughtless. It's not without thoughts. It is with the thoughts, but it is acceptance of the thoughts. So thoughts are going on, and you see the thoughts, but you don't give. Don't let the thoughts communicate to you. You don't let the thoughts offer you something. You just tell them, okay, you are there, but you are not useful to me. Second type, please be active in the chat. Second type of meditation is conceptual meditation. Okay, have you heard about something affirmation? Something about affirmation. People usually talk about affirmations, that I yes, not attend these thoughts. Okay, not attend these thoughts means, suppose you get a uh, thought about tomorrow there is a guest visiting you for maybe food. So if you get that thought, okay, for the moment you will start thinking, okay, what should I cook for food for that guest, or what should I wear, or how should I clean my house. Okay, and then when you realize that, okay, you have strayed, when you realize that you have actually missed out on your breath, you will tell that thought that, okay, tomorrow is tomorrow, tomorrow is not today, today is today. I am meditating right now, this moment, this moment is a minute, that is a second, that is an hour, but tomorrow I will see later on. So you have to talk to your thoughts like this. Whenever your thoughts get overpowering to you, you can talk to your thoughts. Okay, now have you heard about the term, usually people say affirmation, positive affirmation. What is positive affirmation? Give me some examples of positive affirmation. Everyone be active. Neelam is active. Piali be active. Yash Kumar be active. Kimi be active. I want your inputs. I am a good learner. Very nice, Yash Kumar. Okay, Varsha also be active. Varsha also, your video on also. Okay, what are some other affirmations? I love myself. Very nice. Okay, I will succeed. I will overcome the hurdles of my life. I will never be angry again. Okay, to say something positive to ourselves. Now, one kind of meditation can be when you take one positive affirmation which you require. Suppose you have issues about concentration, then you will take, yes, I accept the people as they are. If you have issues about concentrating on things, so you will take that, from now onwards I will keep my focus super high and I will not get distracted. You can use this affirmation. If you are doing meditation for something, for money, you will say, I will always attract abundance in my life. This can be your affirmation. Suppose you are doing it for a relationship, that I will never get angry with my partner again, and I will try to understand him, or I will be more empathic towards him or her. So this can be your affirmative statement, and then you sit across maybe for 10-15 minutes. You start repeating these thoughts, and then also listen to your affirmations. This is the second kind. First kind of meditation is breath meditation, focusing on breath. Second kind of meditation is you will use affirmation. Okay, now according to your stage of spiritual development, your stage of practice, how many years or months you are doing meditation, you will have to choose some technique which is easier for you. Because if you are at this level, if you are at point like if you are a very beginner in meditation and you start doing an advanced stage of meditation, you will get demotivated because you are not going to get success. Try with something which is very easy to start with, and then gradually, maybe after a week of doing that particular way of meditation, then you can progress to other meditation. First is meditation is breath meditation. Second is, first is breath meditation. Second is, fast reply. First is breath meditation. Second kind of meditation is affirmation. Okay, affirmation. More affirmation. Okay, okay. Okay, now the third kind of meditation, okay, is a philosophical uh, concept. Philosophical. Okay, there are certain you see, you always see about quotes on Google. Okay, quotes, philosophical quotes, which says that forgiveness is a gift, or there are thoughts like the optimistic expects it to change, or light tomorrow with today, or believe that you can do and you are truly there. Okay, there are some kind of philosophical thoughts, okay, which give you some ray of light, but whenever you read it you cannot implement it. Okay, you can also use such kind of philosophical thoughts. First is the breath meditation, second is affirmation, that is specific to your issue. Third is generalized concepts, philosophical concept, which you can meditate, you can say again and again. Okay, three. Okay, three times till now. Fourth is physically meditating. Okay, what kind of physical meditation you can do which involves body? Physical meditation, fourth one. What is that? Give me an example. Physical meditation, someone gave me. Yoga, very nice. Doing yoga postures. Maybe you are doing Kapal Bhati, or maybe you are doing Pawan Muktasan, or maybe you are doing Bhujangasan. Okay. What other asanas do you know? What other yoga asanas can amount to Surya Namaskar? Very, very nice. Surya Namaskar, because it has a certain kind of flow to it. You have to take care of your steps. It has a flow. Very nice, Surya Namaskar. Any kind of exercise which can become your meditation. What kind of exercise can become meditation? Yash Kumar, Piali, anything. Some people, when they are running a sprint, okay, whenever maybe they are running a marathon, okay, it is a very long skipping, okay, yes, because it has a certain kind of rhythm, okay, anything related to rhythm. Okay, some people they are running a marathon and it is a 1 and 2 hours long marathon, and then they have to just focus on keep running continuously and also maintain the rhythm of their breath, and they are also meditating along with their running. So this can be a physical meditation. Free hand exercises, yes. Okay, now we come to clear mind meditation. Next is clear mind meditation. When we talk about thoughtless meditation, now this is an advanced stage of meditation where when you start meditating on some of these techniques, you get less thoughts in your mind. Okay, there are less thoughts coming up in your mind, and then your mind is more focused and it is clear of all the trash. Okay, and then you start focusing more on your breath or more on your activities or more on the rhythm. So this is called clear mind meditation, totally blank mind. Okay. Okay, now very nice kind of meditation next which is coming up, which is called awareness meditation. Very quickly we will also end the session. What is awareness meditation? Because we are just nearing the end. What is awareness meditation? Awareness meditation. Yes. Okay, being aware. What is awareness meditation? Neelam, Yashkumar, Piali, Varsha, no idea. Okay. Suppose I go to a garden. I go to a garden and yes, no, okay, not exactly. Okay, I go to a garden and I sit there on grass, and the grass and the leaves of the grass, the wet leaves are touching my toes, and I feel uh, that wetness from that. Okay, I can feel that. I'm aware of that. Next is through my eyes, I'm able to see the trees. On the tree I'm able to see the bird who is sitting there. From the tree the bird goes and moves to other tree. I can see that. I can see children playing in the garden. I'm just seeing them. I'm very amazed seeing those children in the garden. I can see some small birds who are flying. Maybe there is a waterfall which I can see and I can hear the sound of the waterfall. Maybe I'm in the rain, I can hear the sound of the rain. So the natural surroundings around you, if you are aware of them and you absorb those feelings, okay, you absorb those, you become a part of those. Some people, you don't have to sit there and do a meditation also. You sit there and you get so engrossed in your surrounding and your environment that it becomes a meditation. Now, two more meditations left, two more. Okay, second last and last. In real or imagination, both. Okay, Neelam. Okay, suppose if you are really there, okay, if you are really there in the garden, it becomes a real imagination. Now, for imagination, then it comes guided meditation, which I was going to discuss with you. In guided meditation, there is a particular speech which is going on, which helps you visualize things. Okay, and you can imagine all these things with that visualization. So that is called guided meditation. Okay. Next is object meditation. Some people, they light a candle in front of them. Okay, very nice, Neelam. That is very nice. I also like guided meditation. In fact, there are a lot of recordings on my YouTube channel, around 10 to 15 of them around for guided meditation. Okay, so object meditation is that suppose some people, they sit in a dark room and then they light a candle. Okay, or it can be a mobile torch or light, or it can be a painting on your wall, colorful painting, or it can be a very small point on a wall which you are continuously seeing. Continuously staring at that point with all your focus is called an object meditation. Usually people who have never tried meditation at all, they start with object meditation. They start with object meditation, and then they move ahead towards the breath meditation, and then they go towards other kinds of meditation. Yeah, I'll provide you the link. Okay. Tra- Tratak. What is Tratak? Yes, Kumar. What is Tratak? You mean that hypnosis kind of figure? Okay, coming to the last type of meditation, which is my favorite meditation. Okay, okay. The last kind of meditation, which is my favorite meditation, which I do on a regular basis. Okay, but when you start with the object meditation and when you go towards the breath meditation, and then if you come to this meditation, then it will have high impacts. That is called mantra chanting meditation. Mantra chanting. What is mantra chanting meditation? What is mantra chanting meditation, and how do we do it? What is has anyone tried mantra chanting meditation? Recitation of mantras. Okay, yeah, yes. Yash Kumar Piali, what is mantra chanting meditation? When we are worshipping. Okay. Now, okay. Piali, now chant mantra in the mind of alpha state. Okay. Yash Kumar, very nice. Okay. Piali, when you told me that when you are worshipping, there are now two ways. Okay. Now, in worshipping, sometimes what happens is that object meditation. Suppose there is a murti in front of you of a deity or something, and then your eyes are focused on the deity and you are praying. Okay. Most of the time, some people are listening to the chanting and some people are seeing that idol. Okay. Now, if your focus is on seeing that idol, it becomes that object meditation. Okay. But if your focus is on listening to the mantras, okay, listening to the sound of the mantras and continuously focusing it becomes mantra meditation, uttering mantras and then listening also, both. Okay, there are some people who are just uttering mantras. There are many people who keep on saying a different kind of mantras, but they don't listen to it. Then it does not become meditation. You have to listen to it from your mouth. You have to speak the mantra. From your ear, you have to listen to that mantra. Okay, now an example of what I do. Okay, I will start with what I do, because the word I use, I use Vaheguru. Okay, because that is specific to my you could say worship. Okay, now some people use Om. Okay, some people use Gayatri mantra. Okay, okay, only listening can work. Okay, I will say about this also. Okay, uh, then okay. Okay, some people use Gayatri Mantra, some people use Vaheguru, some people use Ek Oankar, some people use Om. Okay. Now, what happens is that, okay, suppose you are only doing listening, okay, which is okay. Chances are that if you include most of your senses of your body, okay, suppose your eyes, okay, Shabad, but I can understand. Okay, Shabad, okay, very nice. So, suppose if you just listen to an audio of meditation or listen to an audio of Om or listen to an audio of Gayatri Mantra continuously, and you are not saying it from your mouth, what happens is that there are chances of you getting distracted in other people's and talking something to other people, or maybe doing some other work or doing some multitasking. There are chances in that. Okay, because your eyes is open, or maybe you're not using your mouth and you are just listening, you are just involving one of your senses. When you speak, when you close your eyes, that is one sense, you have shut down one sense, okay, which can actually create distractions, that is your eyes. Okay, then some people also light incense. Why? They want to also include one more sense. Okay, can we do meditation with that when we are not able to understand but enjoying? Yes, you can do. Okay, again I'm telling you about the senses. Some people, when they do meditation or mantra chanting, they also light incense, okay, which has a fragrance to it, because they are also involving their this. Sometimes some people also sit down on a very soft kind of carpet, or because then also their skin can also get involved with that soothing feeling. Okay, so if you involve most of your senses in meditation, chances are of distraction are very less. Now, what is the benefit of mantra chanting meditation? Why is it better than the breath meditation? Why? When you focus on your breath meditation, your thoughts are always there surrounding you. And sometimes you will forget that you're doing meditation and you will just start riding your thoughts. And when you are doing mantra chanting meditation, and specifically from your mouth, inhalation and exhalation, you inhale a word, you exhale a word. Usually, what I do is I inhale Vahe and exhale Guru. I say Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru. So my inhalation and exhalation both have been caught. My inhalation and exhalation, I have to capture my breath. I have to capture my breath. If I can capture my breath, my thoughts will not have a platform to ride. Okay, what is the? I'm a Hindu, but in Gurudwara I can sit long hours enjoying, but couldn't understand. Very nice, Neelam. Very nice of you. Okay, I'm talking about, suppose whenever you chant a specific mantra and you don't listen to it, the chances are that you will lose focus. Suppose you are just focusing on your breath. Okay, the only thing your thoughts have to occupy is your breath. Your breath is like a surfboard. Okay, if your thoughts get on the surfboard, they will start surfing. Suppose I use a certain word for my breath, which is maybe Vaheguru, or it is Om, or a Gayatri Mantra, or some other word. I have captured my breath completely, and then there is no chance of leakage, or there is no chance of infiltration from the thoughts. That is why mantra meditation or mantra chanting meditation is so important. For mantra chanting meditation, what you have to do is you have to find a peaceful place. It can be an open space garden, it can be your home, it has to be a closed door. Sit there, no one is going to disturb you. Put a mat on the floor. If you want to light an incense, you can light an incense. Okay, okay. Preferably before the meditation, always wash your hands, your face, eyes, and your legs. Okay, so you feel that feeling of freshness, like you have just have a shower. If you had shower and have meditation, that is very nice. And you can just sit across, close your eyes, and just chant the mantra, inhalation and exhalation. Divide the mantra into two. Whatever mantra you are using, you can divide it into two. Okay, so that inhalation also gets a part of the mantra, exhalation also gets a part of the mantra, and then focus on listening to that mantra. Whenever you are chanting, focus on listening. You should be automatically chanting, but the focus on listening has to be conscious. Whenever you go out of sync, start again. Whenever you go out of sync, start again. If you start doing this for 10 to 15 minutes in a day, specifically in the early hours, which is called Brahma Muhurat or Amrit Vela in different kinds of religions, if you focus on such kind of meditation in that time, which is called Brahma Muhurat, really you are going to have, I will say, astonishing effects in your life. Means with respect to your relationship, respect to your finances, respect to your confidence, respect to your mental health, lowering your depression, even your physical health, even weight loss, because your cortisol levels are going to go down. Then feeling of good, feeling happiness inside you, feeling peaceful, feeling grateful. If you take out 15 minutes in a day, if you can wake up in the morning, that is going to be the most I'll say fabulous thing. If you can just put an alarm, it could be anything between 3 to 6. Okay, in the morning, it could be 3, it can be 4, 4:35, 5:36, anything. But have a shower, sit for 15 minutes to 30 minutes. You can go to sleep again if you want, but that time is going to give you so much high levels of concentration, which is not possible in the day. Even if you sit in the closed door, you already know that the world has started working. You are lacking behind in some aspect. You need to do some work. So if you use the time which is earlier in the morning, you will be able to do it in an easy way. I want you to ask some questions, okay, before we wind up. some questions before we wind up about meditation, queries about meditation, because actual meditation will you will learn only. Okay, I will share the guided meditation link for sure. If you have subscribed to the channel and if you go to the playlist section, there is a section called guided meditation. Anything else? Any other questions? Any other questions from Neelam, Piali, Yash Kumar? Okay, Reiki. Okay, I have a few practitioners of Reiki who are my friends. Okay, I don't do it Reiki. I don't. I will not say that I don't believe. I will even not say that I am a strong supporter. Okay, but I know what is it about. It's like the energy which flows through every being. Okay, which is flowing through you. It is flowing through me. It is flowing through Piyali, Yash Kumar, everyone. That is a universal energy. Okay, universal energy from your creator, which has the capacity to heal everything and everyone of everything. Okay, now what happens is that because of our actions, our karmas, our thoughts, all these things, we are unable to get the benefit of this energy. Now Reiki says that they can help to channelize this energy through you if you get attuned. Okay, attuned. But I what I feel is that uh, how can you guarantee that the master, Reiki master, who is attaining you is not having any issues in his life, or is not having any blockages in his chakras, or are his chakras open or no, or whatever. Okay, you can assume, or it could not be true. Okay, Reiki is a Japanese word. Rei means fill in the whole world, and ki means energy. Very true. Okay, so what is my perception is that I always believe in depending on your own self. Okay, sometimes it happens that people yeah, when you get attuned and you are practicing Reiki on your own, sitting down and practicing self Reiki and healing, then that is fine. But some people go for Reiki sessions every now and then. They get dependent on the Reiki master, or they get dependent for the sessions, and they believe that whenever they take sessions, only then they will feel better. So that is not what I advocate. I will believe that if you start meditating, even for that chakra meditation thing, and some people about opening their, yes, universal. Ray means universal and Ki means energy, universal energy. So I believe that you have the power to change your life, okay, with certain tools. Okay, if you start meditating on your own, okay, you don't have to actually worry about is your Kundalini energy rising up, or are you at the root chakra, or are you at the throat chakra, or which chakras are not opening, or what are issues. You don't have to actually worry about all these things. It is like why should I worry about vitamin A, B, C, D, K, or vitamin D or vitamin B12 if I am eating all my food or platter nicely? Why should I worry about particular vitamins? Okay, if I am having a full plate of food, okay, if I have a full plate of food which has rice, which has roti, which has curd, which has vegetables, which has dal, which has protein, which has salad, everything I have, I am sure that all my nutrients are met with. So meditation is that whole thing. If you do meditation regularly, okay, with trust, okay, on the process, you will actually not require any external support from anyone. Okay, you are free to try different kinds of modalities, even Reiki. I'm saying I'm not against any one of them, but I again believe that meditation can also do the same thing with you, your chakras, your Kundalini, your energy, your karma, your behavior, your healing, everything which Reiki will do. But why one thing? Okay, last one thing. Why people go for Reiki, or why people go for even I practice access bars, access consciousness. Why people go for access bars, access consciousness, or Reiki? Because they don't want to try. Because they don't want to do the hard work. Because they don't want to actually struggle. They don't want to fight their thoughts. They don't want to sit in meditation. Okay, okay. Yes, 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 Kumar. There are results for sure. That is why I'm saying this. But people use it because they feel like their self worth will become lesser. Okay. If you are doing, can't maintain routine, could you help me how to maintain routine? Okay. Again, I'm okay. First, to start maintain routining a routine is that before you sleep, do certain type of meditation. It could be focusing on your breath. It can be the mantra meditation before sleeping, 5 to 10 minutes. Always before sleeping, 40 to 45 minutes, keep your lights dim. Do not just sleep on the bed and just shut your lights. No, because for sleeping nicely, you require melatonin release, which happens when you are in dim light. Always have warm milk before sleeping. Okay, that can also trigger good sleep. So if you have a good sleeping pattern, if you start sleeping 30 minutes earlier each day by day, and automatically you will start waking up 30 minutes earlier every day. And when you sleep sound, when you sleep meditate and sleep, you will have less thoughts, you will have less dreams, you will wake up less in the night, and then you will wake up fresh. So slowly you will build up this habit and you will start waking up early, but it will happen with time. Yes, Kumar, any questions, queries, any insights for me? Piali also. And then we wind up the session. If we got sleep during, okay, it is very nice. In fact, if you get sleep during meditation or listening to some mantra or listening to gurbani or listening to something, it is a very good sign that your mind is actually absorbing the content. That is a very good sign, in fact, if you are relaxing at the time of doing all these things. But usually don't lie and do anything, lie down, because it should be sitting down and in a straight posture, do your meditation, and then after that you lie down, but your lights should be dim in your room before sleeping. Yash Kumar, any question? Piali, any question? Neelam, any question? Just 2 to 3 minutes before we end. Okay, I am planning to do one webinar on spirituality, okay, which is in the next week. But I want more people because it is going to be a lot of info which I have to prepare for it, and then a lot of energy also goes in. So if you have a good maybe friend circle, or if you have a lot of people who are interested in spirituality, if you can pass on the message or uh, arrange people, or even I will be posting in groups, then I will specifically have that seminar. Yash Kumar, again, any questions from you? And Piali, question or insight for me? Thank you, Neelam. It was nice. Any insights, any questions for me? And Piali also, any questions, any insights for me? Just 1 minute before we end the session. Okay. Okay. So again, like other sessions, okay. Again, the optional part. Okay. If the participation part, if some people like last workshop, the marriage workshops, and the workshop for confidence. Okay. Yes. Yes. So some people they opted for the certification. Certification is the certificate of participation in a meditation workshop. Okay. If you require that, you can WhatsApp me. Again, that is strictly optional. Okay. And thank you all of you. Thank you, Piali. Thank you, Neelam. Thank you. Yes, yes. Again, when I do that session, okay, next week, I will include everything specifically and in detail about chakras. What are those? What kind of meditation is required? Okay. So thank you, Piali. Thank you, Neelam. Thank you, Yash Kumar. Even thank you other people who are right now not there. Okay, for being there, for listening me for so long and giving me this opportunity and to express myself, and see you once again in another insightful session. Yeah, emotional intelligence also I am planning to take webinar. Again, I want more people because whenever I'm doing these sessions, I like it's like around 6 to 7 hour go in preparation of the content or the PPT. So if there are more people, I get more motivated more to do more such webinars. So if there are more people for emotional intelligence specifically, then I will surely do. Okay. Once again, thank you so much. We will meet again in another session. Okay. Thank you and goodbye. Bye everyone. Bye. Bye Neelam. Bye Piali. Bye Ashwin. Goodbye. Goodbye. Good night to all of you.